Hello everyone, welcome to Red Snapper. My name's MJ and this is Snap or Pass, a series where we look at this card here, the brand new card in Marvel Snap. This is Invisible Woman, isn't it? Because it's not there. No, obviously, yeah, it's a little bit of a silly little period to start the video with, and just say like the video. Please do like, it really does help. Anyway, Invisible Woman is a 3/5 activate. This turn, your end of turn abilities happen twice. In this video, I will present to you my star ratings across the board for the different elements to this card. We'll look at some decks, synergies, counters. You can choose the section that you want to skip to using the chapters should you so wish, but true legends stay until the end. So how do you get this dang card, yo? You can buy it outright with tokens, 6,000, or you can open a seasonal Series 5 snap pack. You may also get the cards from the Masters of the Arcane season, along with all of the cards that we've seen thus far in the Fantastic Four season, which includes Herbie, Human Torch, and The Thing. And Kid Omega has recently joined that as well, actually. And you can get these cool, what are we calling them? Are they still Spotlight variants? This Invisible Woman one from Adi Granov, because, yeah, guys, I'd readjust that. Guys, I normally like the base variants, but I have to say on this one, I'm probably slightly less of a fan. Anyway. So the mechanics for Invisible Woman, Fantastic Four First Steps version. I think the archetype she's going to fit into is the Fantastic Four archetype, because the Fantastic Four archetype is all about filling locations in order to trigger abilities, primarily spearheaded by the new Human Torch and The Thing cards. But she works with both of them because they're both end of turn. In turn, she also works with all end of turn cards, of course, because that's the ability that she has. Zoo decks, I think, will enjoy playing her, because Zoo decks have a lot of end of turn stuff that greatly benefits them. And High Evolutionary, again, absolutely loads of end of turn cards. And this is one of those cards that is just going to age like a fine wine. Yeah, gonna get better and better. Now, I am in a bit of a bad situation. I haven't got my cup. I actually probably will need to get my cup, because my cup contains my drink. And I might need that. As you can hear, I probably sound brilliant. I probably sound fractionally different from usual because it's very early. It's particularly early, and I haven't had a shower yet, so my body has not been hydrated. I haven't taken in those vapours and a refreshing aromas that you would experience in this shower, and so my body is less refreshed. I have sort of wet my hair and jazzed it up, but I am going to need to go get that drink actually on that, so I'll just get that, yeah. So, being a 3-cost card, you can play her from turn 3 and then activate her ability from turn 4. So she's somewhat of a later game card, or she's going to start paying off in the later game generally. You can choose between activating her earlier to provide potential value, or later for surprise. So that earlier value, it could be like an Adam Warlock, which could give you an additional draw and additional power, or it could just be activating your cards in general, which will typically give you more power and more tempo. So it depends what you need for the game you're playing. And she does have a relatively narrow application due to a fairly limited pool of end of turn cards. And as we have done several times with this season's Snap or Pass videos, we will look at all of the end of turn cards in a moment. So the pros. She has an extremely, ridiculously powerful ability for a card with good stats. Usually, like a 3/5 will have either like an ability which potentially like it might be bad for you, like Polaris, right? She's pulling power to that location, so to offset that, she has a good well, I say good stats. I mean, it's kind of becoming the norm, right? But normally, like, cards with powerful abilities, like a Prodigy, right? 3/4. Esme Cuckoo, 3/4. This chick is a 3/5. What are we doing here, sheeple? And yeah, duplicating end of turn abilities can be very powerful because there are some very high power and value abilities. For example, Sunspot, Havoc, Doom 2099, and Eson. Very interesting to see this mix of cards as well. Cards with some of the more powerful abilities that you can actually juice the most out of are actually some of the cheaper ones. I guess like Havoc and Sunspot there. Now they do have big drawbacks, and activating Havoc twice is a big downside because you're knocking 2 energy off yourself. But hey, it's something that you can do, and if you do it on the final turn, that doesn't impact you as much, right? There are some cons though. As an activate card, she does need to be played earlier and can't be used well on the last turn. So I mean, the good thing is she's still a 3/5, so she still stats on the last turn, which usually is not something that we say with activate cards is a thing. They usually have pretty weaker power. And she is reduced in usefulness if your opponent counters your other cards. So your other end of turn cards, they do still need to be end of turn cards if they've countered them. So they like Killmongering the Sunspot obviously is going to be less valuable for. Sorry, that point I've just said is so obvious and stupid it made me laugh. Right, let's have a look at all of the end of turn cards that we currently have in the game. I think this is all of them anyway. There is a few more coming in the future. I mean, I'm saying that. Is that true? Is that still true? I don't even barely even know if that's still true. It must be. There's so many data mined cards. Anyway, some of my favourites here. I think Doom 2099 is going to be really interesting. Being able to generate double Doom bots means that you'll fill up easily, or more easily, I guess. Even if you didn't have your Doom and stuff. Well, I guess you're only getting one extra, but still, the Doom 2099 bots give you somewhat exponential value. Sunspot I really do think is incredible. We'll look at a deck later on which features the Sunspot, and yeah, some very interesting plays. Marvel Boy I think is going to be fantastic, and yeah, I mean Mr. Fantastic First Steps is going to be gross just on its own. I have put Fantastica in here. Fantastica is not an end of turn card, but similarly to Invisible Woman, it is an activate which works well, synergizes with the end of turn cards. So, right, what can actually counter Invisible Woman though? Oh bloody hell! Like not much, to be fair. Like Red Guardian, but even then, I'm not sure he's going to get a sniff in. There will be a future card we can talk about, which is Super Adaptoid, which steals the activate abilities of cards. So yeah, that might be one, but if your opponent's playing that card, which isn't out yet obviously, if your opponent is playing that card in the future and you play down Invisible Woman, I mean, it's whoever has priority and is able to activate their card first, basically. Oh no wait, or is Super Adaptoid non-reveal? I'll tell you what, we'll talk about that in a couple of weeks when we get there. Actually, it's going to be a long time. Yeah, Cosmic Ghost Rider is another upcoming card that might be able to affect Invisible Woman, but again, maybe not. Cosmic Ghost Rider removes the text from the front row, from your front row. But he is a 5-cost card, so again, not too sure there's many counters to iDubbbz FFFS. Is that, like, initials? Synergies, Sunspot, absolutely mentally good, to be honest. Marvel Boy, so strong. Like, Marvel Boy can be a +3, that becomes a +6 at the end of the turn that you activate Invisible Woman, which is crazy. And Eson can pull 2 cards, so Eson goes from being a card that is like, oh, I'm not winning this, I might win this location, it kind of depends what I pull, to, oh, this can now pretty comfortably single-handedly win a location. Now, obviously, you have to have cards in your hand that have been generated, so there is a question on how often you're going to have cards that have been generated in an Invisible Woman deck. Do some sort of shield hybrid, and there might be some opportunities for that. I guess we'll see. Let's look at the decks though, and I think it's crucial here to say, and just not to underestimate the power level and impact of this card. Doing any one of these abilities is incredible. For example, a Sunspot on turn 5 would usually be a +5 power. It becomes a +10 power with Invisible Woman. Does that kind of make Invisible Woman a 3/10? Kind of. You are floating energy to make that happen, and you could say that there is some... do they call it a sunk cost fallacy sort of theory in the cost of Sunspot? So maybe you've paid for that already, but still. But that's just one card. The Eson is just one card, and you're pulling multiple, right? So when you've got all of the cards in the deck, and you activate her, and you're getting 2, 3, 4, 5 abilities that you're getting to trigger, that is where the value from her becomes insane. If you think about Wong costs 4, and you're basically duplicating the abilities of cards that you play on top of it. But Wong costs 4, and he's a 4/2, and then you have to play stuff on top of it. So it's like it's inflexible, and it's expensive, and it's low tempo. Invisible Woman is not expensive. Well, she's certainly cheaper than 4 at least. She's not low tempo. She's high tempo, and she's completely flexible because she affects cards you play before her. She affects cards you play after her. You just activate her. So this is like crazy immeasurable value. Anyway, this first deck I've got for you is a budget deck, and I would have to administer a warning to you lower collection level players or newer players. I've called this deck Invisible Win Rate for a reason. I do think this is a very bad deck. I think it's difficult to create a budget deck with Invisible Woman because you have less access to end of turn cards. Many of the end of turn cards are newer cards or just higher series level cards. So like what you've got: Havoc, Adam Warlock, Sunspot. Now, individually these work very well in particular decks, but collectively here, I'm not sure. Certainly in this deck, I'm not sure. It's basically like a Bast thing. They've all got low power. I thought, yeah, they've all got low power apart from Invisible Woman. Let's just see if we can pull something together. I mean, you could give it a go. I'm not even going to give this a try, guys. I think I'd rather sort of fizzle away. I think I'd rather be an Alka-Seltzer that you've put in a bottle of water and shaken vigorously, and then put in the freezer to slow the rate of dissolution. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna watch a Marvel Snap video. I'm gonna learn words. That's you. What's dissolution mean? Yeah. Telling you words that I don't even know are real. So I haven't got qualifications in that one. In English words qualification. The next deck for you is a bit more premium. We're sticking some Series 5 cards in here now, guys. It's a high evolutionary deck, and this one is actually good. In fact, I think this one will be pretty much straight up filth. You could potentially change something like maybe an Adam Warlock for like another 1-cost card. I think you might want a slightly higher number of 1-cost cards if you are playing the Marvel Boy, as we are in this deck. But hopefully we'll draw at least 1 or 2 of our 1-cost cards, and I think the benefit might then be there for Marvel Boy. Oh my god, I didn't update Marvel Boy's power on the previous slide, unless you saw it and it had updated power, in which case this bit that I'm saying now is pointless. Anyway, this deck is pretty self-explanatory, but there is one very important inclusion that I want to point out, and that is Jennifer Kale. Now, yes, you can get lucky and hit She-Hulk or Hulk with Mr. Fantastic First Steps, reducing them in cost, allowing you to skip turn 5, boost your Sunspot, make your Misty Knight trigger. If you had Cyclops in there, that would trigger as well. You can slightly tweak this to your heart's content. It's a free country, guys. Don't just do what I tell you, right? If I told you to jump off a bridge, you wouldn't do it. So, yeah. Anyway, the Jennifer Kale is, or the Mr. Fantastic First Steps, is so crucial here to give you that extra energy on turn 5 to float, and then on the final turn you can play She-Hulk and Hulk. Absolutely incredible. And that goes for if you had a Moon Girl version of this deck and you got 2 She-Hulks. Again, it means so much to be able to float that full energy on turn 5 and then play them both on turn 6. Absolutely crazy. We have gotten Fantastica in here, guys. Pick them up if you didn't get it in the premium season pass. You know, we are approaching the end of the season, which means Fantastica will be added to Seasonal Series 4 snap packs in the coming week or so. So, yeah, this deck is going to be mega cracked, I think. Moving on to our final deck. This is a Fantastic Four deck. I think... Is this the first Fantastic Four deck that I've actually made and featured? Because Invisible Woman's finally out, I think we really needed Invisible Woman, along with The Thing and along with Human Torch, to truly push the Fantastic Four archetype. The other cards that we might want to play in a Fantastic Four shell would be like Squirrel Girl to boost our ability to play to fill locations rather, and have a bit more flexibility on where we actually fill. Honestly, there is an argument that you might want cheaper cards in here as well. Maybe like an Ultron to fill out the locations might be good in here as well. But as it stands, we've got Herbie, who can add some extra fluff to his own lane. Elsa Bloodstone, who obviously wants you to fill locations. We've got Nick Fury for their potential ESON synergy here. We've got Infinity Ultron as another thing that benefits from ESON. Because I did want to stick ESON in here. I wanted like an interesting end of turn, end of game thing. If you're not the thing, we have got the thing, but an end of turn play that, yeah, is good. I think you probably do. My explanation of this deck is spiraling out of control, and I can only apologise. I'd like to use this moment, this brevity, this lapse in my mental understanding of my own deck, to say please like the video. I obviously need this help. Please subscribe and do turn on notifications. Right, anyway, let's just clarify again. Okay, the end game in this deck, either you get something from Nick Fury, or you've played your Infinity Ultron, and hopefully that gives you some sort of win condition, or you play your ESON with one of them. Maybe you pull down either a big 6 or a stone. Maybe it fills the location, yada yada yada, and then you activate your Fantastic Art. Who knows, guys? I don't know, this deck might be a bit copy, and there's probably better Fantastic Four decks out there. Maybe I would just say straight up, don't do the ESON copy thing, it's too copy. You could then take out the Fury, the ESON, put in Ultron and Doom, and call it a job well done, good day. Star ratings, what do I actually think of her? On the slide that I'm looking at right now, it says 4 stars, but I think I might increase that to 4.5 stars in my final last minute edits before I upload this video. I think I'm going to do it. I think she is just, yes, she works with a limited number of cards, but she is so powerful with those cards. So she's limited, but she's incredibly powerful. Her ability is great. Her power is great. There's nothing bad about this. There's limited counters. I think I'm going to kick this up to 4.5. From a fun perspective, however, I think maybe just 3.5. I certainly think she's above average levels of fun, but you're pressing a button. She's just good. She's almost like too good. Is that less fun? I don't know. Maybe it will feel fun to do like the double sunspot thing, or like getting 2 triggers on your Hulk. Your Bruce Banner and your Hulk, whatever. High evolutionary Hulk. No, 2 triggers on your Bruce Banner. That could get exponentially fun if you're creating that Hulk more often. For the archetype, she's 5 stars minimum, or maybe 6 if she coagulates not only Fantastic Four but also end of turn. So yeah, honestly I should probably change that to 6. And from a competitive standpoint, again, the number, look, what I'm looking at says 4. What I'm looking at says 4. I'm looking at an old version. Yeah, I've now got to readjust this, which is she just a 5? I think she's a 5. I think I've got to up this to 5. I've got to up 5. All the figures are wrong. She's a 5. She's a 5. So, you will be unsurprised to learn, to hear from the words coming out of my mouth. This needs adjusting again, I do apologise. That, yeah, she is mega cracked, in my humble opinion. I think she's one of the best cards they've released in a while. She opens the doors for these archetypes, which I think is fantastic. And obviously, I think she is a snap. What do you think, though? So normally the next slide here would be my review of the previous week's card. However, that's the thing, Fantastic Four First Steps, who I haven't played, haven't got him yet. I probably will get him. I quite like him. I quite like the look of him from my preview, you'll remember. Unless you didn't see it. And Donkey Kong Bonanza came out this week, guys. I just haven't been playing much Snap. I have been, look at this, I brought my drink down, I was going to talk about it. I guess we're just doing free spool section. Free spool, free spitballing is what I was going to say. But I did get his cup, Fantastic Four First Steps cup, and it is Human Torch. In fact, guys, it does, I promise you it does. It does light up. You can't, if I close the curtain and turn this off. We're going full rogue now, guys. We're going full rogue here. Yo, fuck, that's sick. Oi, mate, that shit, it looks like I'm drinking fire. It looks like... Oh, that's hot on that. Yeah, acting. Yeah. Oh. Knowledge. Yeah. Fine. I once auditioned for a Nintendo advert, which is relevant because it's looping us back round to the fact that I have not played Fantastic Mr. Thing Thirsty Step Man. Because I've been playing Donkey Kong Bonanza. Donkey Kong Bonanza is absolutely incredible. I'm loving it. I have watched a video. I did watch Not My Dance's video. Oh, sorry, a bit of it. I watched a bit of it.
And then I've got 2 really cheap cards, which I think are going to only cost 3.
So yeah, great channel, guys. Go and check out Not My Dance. That is literally the only thing I've watched. I will watch some more videos about it. But yeah, I don't really have any thoughts on it yet because I haven't played it myself. So that's it. This is getting towards the end of this video now. Yeah, no, sorry, I do apologise. I know it's gone to shit right now. But I've put the light back up. Do you want me to? I'll hold this here because it looks cooler. Just whilst we wrap this up, whilst I say the last few things I'm going to say. So thank you very much for watching. Yes, guys, we have made it through the Fantastic Four First Steps season. The next season is kind of another Fantastic Four season, which I love to see. I love seeing these double bill seasons that they do. I think we've only seen it once before. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but we had the Spider-Man Spider-Verse season, right? And then that was followed by, was it a Spider-Verse season? It was like a Scarlet Spider, Madam Web, Aranya. Yeah, it was like a Spider-Man-y season. Just pure Spider-Man, right? And then we moved into the symbiote season with Anti-Venom and Misery and Agent Venom. Absolutely epic. So our next season is another double bill. It's the Galactus or Heralds of Galactus season. I think it looks like a good season, a solid season. I think this has been a pretty good one overall. Introduced some really powerful cards to the game in Invisible Woman, in Human... Excuse me. There's some gases moving around my internal organs, indicating the movement of elements. Yeah, good. And Mr. Fantastic First Steps has been incredible as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry that if you've watched all of this, you'll be rewarded with some of my favourite clips from my food review channel. If that's even a reward, it might be a punishment. Anyway, enjoy those. And I'll see you next episode for Galactus First Steps. See you then. Good. This has been good. I am happy with how this has gone.
That's absorbing the moisture in the room.
Oh lads, I didn't know they installed an escalator here.
You haven't?
Oh, that's fucking embarrassing.
Oh, I look like Chad Kruger.
You bloody fucking idiot.
Thank you very much for watching, everyone. You have to subscribe for more videos. You simply must.
If that's not a fucking catchphrase, I don't know what is.
Guys, everyone say, we love Food Review UK.
Let's do this properly now, because there's only one bird impersonator in this room.
Can you guys get close to each other, like put your arm around each other and stuff?
Why?
Just because I like it. Yeah, it's nothing for that, it's just for me.
Here's a fact for you. I don't like chocolate cake with chocolate icing. Chocolate cake with some other type of icing, like buttercream or... That's very sensual.
Hello everyone and welcome to Food Review UK. My name's Michael Jameson.
Hello, Michael.
I'm Nathan Peterson.
Hello, Nathan.
Hi Phil.
I'm David Goss. Hi, David.
Hi Phil. I'm Mike Smith.
MVP right there.